Be serious when it comes to serious things. This is the time to get serious. Everything we know about Muhammad begins to be written down in 833. What about the Hadith, the sayings of Muhammad? We are told by Islamic scholars that a man named al-Bukhari was given 600,000 of these Hadith, and he took those 600,000 and then edited them down. He threw out 98% of them and only retained 2% and threw all the rest away. He dies in 870. So that's 240 years after Muhammad lived that you get the first sayings of Muhammad written down in manuscript form. We don't even have al-Bukhari's original text. The earliest texts in existence from al-Bukhari are from the 11th century, where you get all 9 volumes. The 9 volumes of al-Bukhari do not appear together until the 17th century. Now, the others that had written down the Hadith, men like Sahih Muslim, all write after 870. So you're talking about 240 years and later after Muhammad lived that you finally get these references to what Muhammad allegedly said. Furthermore, these men didn't even come from Arabia. Bukhari comes from Bukhara, which is in the north of what is today Iran, hundreds of miles away and hundreds of years later. These men never met Muhammad and never met anyone who knew him, yet somehow they know what Muhammad said. Everything that Muslims are dependent on for the standard Islamic narrative comes from nowhere near the time of Muhammad or even the 4 caliphs, but from 833 and later. The tafsir or the commentaries didn't begin to appear until 923. That's 300 years later in the 10th century. All 4 genres of Islamic narrative were written 200 to 300 years after Muhammad's death. Can you see the problem here? Where did the 9th century biographers get their material from? Well, they got it from so-and-so, who got from so-and-so, who got it from so-and-so. What is this all based on? Easily fabricated, corrupted, alleged oral tradition. Everything we know about Muhammad, everything we know about Islam, everything we know about the emergence of Islam, everything we know about how the Qur'an was put together, all comes from these men allegedly through oral tradition, like a game of whispers. If in a 15-minute game of whispers, you can get a whole other story differing significantly from the one at the beginning, imagine what would happen over 200 years. If everything that Muslims are dependent on for their narrative, everything they know about how Islam began, for who their prophet was, and also for how the Quran came to be, everything based on hearsay and easily corrupted oral traditions, the standard Islamic narrative cannot be trusted.
It's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it.